Welcome to the EQ for Entrepreneurs podcast. Like most business owners, you already know you need good business and marketing strategies to scale and be profitable. But at some point, you've hit the dreaded wall where you feel stuck and frustrated. EQ for Entrepreneurs is for business owners and leaders who are honest enough to admit that they just might be the ones holding their business back and are brave enough to change that.
We're Noble and Kathy, and every week we're having candid conversations about all things emotional intelligence and how growing that has allowed us to get out of our own way and is radically transforming both our businesses and our personal lives. This is the secret sauce strategy for modern entrepreneurs who are tired of hustling without seeing results and want to grow a business and a life that they love.
Entrepreneurs, leaders, and influencers. So today's episode is going to be on relationships and blessings. So I think it's super important to look back at 2020 and really evaluate the lessons, blessings, and relationships of 2020. The lessons, blessings, and relationships of 2020. We did a little bit of this in one of the previous episodes, one of the recent previous episodes, where I had a whole list of how to maximize the learning kind of from 2020. But this is going to be specific to lessons, blessings, and relationships. What were the top 5 lessons that you gleaned from 2020? Is a big one, and taking the time to really think through that question so that we don't go into 2021 the same way that we went into 2020, that we can come into 2021 better and healthier and more equipped, more prepared by evaluating some of those lessons. The next thing to evaluate is blessings. And this was something that God really convicted me of recently, thinking through some of my blessings, actually taking the time to answer all the questions that I posed in, again, one of the recent previous episodes. I went through and answered all the same questions that I asked you all to answer, and it was super helpful for me, super helpful. And one of the thoughts when I was evaluating a bunch of my blessings, so that's one of the things I've done this year, is I've got a running list of, it's called God's Provisions of 2020. All the different things that I really had nothing to do with that God just blessed me over. And, just blessed me unsolicited, if you will. Like it wasn't my own doing or from my own effort. It was His, like it was Him. He did it. And so when I was evaluating and going through all those provisions, God's provisions and God's blessings that He's blessed us with in 2020, which was a super powerful exercise, the other thing that kind of came as a result of that list was, where did those blessings come from? Now, they came from God, but what person delivered those blessings? And I've got a number of folks, but just some off the top of my head. Of course, my wife, I was able to get just a lot of blessings from a lot of our conversations and stuff with my wife. Another one, it was a new relationship that I started this year. A Jiu-Jitsu buddy of mine named John Roy, super dude, firefighter, and very successful Jits guy, purple belt. And, he opened a door for me that I would not have previously had. Another guy, Justin from Jits as well, opened a door for me that I previously wouldn't have had. Zach Thomas, I talk about him, a number of times, but Zach, I got a lot of blessings from my buddy Zach. He's a West Point grad, author of Leader Farming, Chick-fil-A owner-operator for over a decade. And I got a lot of blessings from Zach through conversations, through book recommendations, through Bible study recommendations. So Zach Thomas, and then just from our relationship, I've gotten a lot from our relationship. he started Jitsu this year with his family, and so we've been able to have that connection. Anyway, I've gotten a lot of blessings through Zach Thomas this year. Another buddy of mine, Eric Lopez, he's my college classmate. He's a '06 full board colonel in the Army. He's the chief of staff for U.S. Army Recruiting Command. And man, he has just blessed me tremendously this year in 2020 through our relationship, through suggestions, unsolicited ideas, and brainstorming for our business, for our EQ, my me and Kathy's EQ business, EQ for Entrepreneurs business. He has provided all kinds of unsolicited brainstorming and ideas and strategic thoughts, and that have been tremendously helpful and valuable outside of just how I'm blessed just in the relationship with him. He's got his own YouTube channel, Lopez on Leadership. Definitely recommend checking that out. And also, he had me come in and speak to, Kath, for my wife and I to speak to his organization, his staff, that he's runs, as he's in charge of, for U.S. Army Recruiting Command on emotional intelligence. And so another way that I've been blessed through my relationship with Eric. And then they came and visited us. He and his wife, Christy, came and visited us back in October, which was a blessing. It was a blessing to see them. And something about Eric is he has been, one of his superpowers and strengths is communication. And he has been so intentional at keeping not just our relationship alive over the past 2 decades, but he keeps in touch with a ton of our classmates. And he's been so intentional and consistent over 20 years. His social capital is tremendous because he has continuously, consistently, and intentionally built and maintained and developed so many relationships. So that's been a blessing to see what that looks like. What do healthy relationships even look like? That's a whole nother question. But anyway, so that's something which let's see, Morgan Snyder, right? He wrote a book called Becoming a King, which has been life-changing for me in the season that I'm in right now. And man, I'm a question. I love questions. And the questions that he has in his book are just game-changing and life-changing. And as a collector of questions, man, that book has just been so powerful. And again, that's Becoming a King by Morgan Snyder. And then I had, through my relationship with Zach, had an opportunity to actually physically meet Morgan in person. He lives out here in Colorado Springs, and that was a tremendous blessing. Another family, the Diops, Jan and Rowena Diop, just blessed tremendously by Jan and Rowena Diop. They're both former military. Anyway, I could go on and on about this couple. Amazing couple. He's from the Ivory Coast. She's from the Philippines. They have beautiful kids, beautiful family, and they are fighters. And, their relationship has blessed us tremendously. Another couple, Alika and Alicia Freitas, have blessed us tremendously as well. These, the relationships that God has blessed us with through this year of 2020 has just been a tremendous blessing to us. Billy and Heather Harris is another couple that have been just a tremendous blessing, a couple that we've been able to bounce, just connect with and share and develop that friendship, with, and relationship has been such a blessing. And then all the folks, honestly, that have provided feedback for our EQ course, our emotional intelligence course, and that went through it. Another guy, Alex Gill, man, just a phenomenal dude. He's, the memes back in the days, the most interesting man in the world. This guy, he's traveled the world. He's from London, lives in Australia. He's been he's a Muay Thai, done Muay Thai fighting. He's done Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, just a software developer, just an incredibly talented guy. He's been intentionally growing and working on himself for a number of years. And it has just been, he's been a tremendous blessing. Dallas and Lisa Lyons, another phenomenal couple that have added a lot of value to us too in 2020. there's so many, and I could go on and on. I don't have the list in front of me, but there have been, oh man, are you kidding me? Our pastors, the Graupners of Fervent Church in Colorado Springs, Garrett and Bethany Graupner, just an amazing, amazing couple. And I cannot tell you the impact that their 8 amazing, beautiful kids have on me. It's just, when I get a chance to see their kids, they just, half of them come running at me and give me the best hugs. And for those of y'all that know me, know that I love hugs. And so just to see these cute little kids just come and just filled with so much life and joy and happiness, that's another family that has blessed us tremendously. And then the Leonards, oh my goodness, I could go on and on about this couple. This couple has literally defined community for us. We recently moved to Colorado about a year and a half ago, and they became community for us before we even got here. We use an app called Marco Polo. I've been using that app for a few years now, and they were willing. There's a whole long story with how that family has blessed us, but they've got 3 amazing kids, and just a tremendous blessing. They're such a neat family. The husband is a retired Space Force guy. Actually, he's a Space Force guy and been in the Air Force for 24 years, recently retired. And that family has just blessed us tremendously. The wife, Jess, is amazing leader and is a learner. I love learning too. So we have some great conversations about leadership and influence and impact and how to be more effective and a better coach and mentor. And because she mentors a lot of people in the homeschool world with an organization called Classical Conversations. So the Leonard family has just been absolutely amazing. And then another buddy, Jason Anderson, has been just a tremendous blessing as well. He's been out in Colorado Springs for a while. He's a former Apache helicopter pilot and just going through a tremendous growth journey, emotional growth journey. And it's been great to, share and share lessons learned from our respective emotional growth journeys. So, who do you have in your life that has really blessed you and impacted you in 2020? Make a list. I just really encourage you guys to make a list of all the blessings that you've received and where God brought those blessings through. So not just note the blessings, but who did those blessings come through? Another guy, TJ Brady, I just interviewed him, my most recent episode, I think this previous episode that just dropped. Again, you can see it on our YouTube channel, EQ for Entrepreneurs, or our podcast. He's my college classmate, Hollywood screenwriter, and he's been on a lot of famous TV shows that you guys will recognize the names of. You have to go listen to the podcast episode to get them all. But it just a tremendous guy, genuine and sincere and heartfelt guy. Just so many people, man. And honestly, the people that I've been able to interview this year in 2020, a handful of my classmates have just been amazing. And then some that haven't been my classmates from college, just some amazing people that, man, I've just been blessed with. Going back through listening to some of those interviews that I've done, man, I encourage you, if you've not listened to some of those interviews, I really encourage you to go back and listen to some of those interviews that I did, because I'm telling you, you will be blessed. You will be blessed. You will glean something from those messages and those interviews. And I encourage you guys, man, to reach out. If you have been blessed by somebody this year in 2020, man, reach out to them. Let them know. Text them, email them, send them a message on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Let them know, man, hey, I listened to your interview on episode, with Noble, and man, it really impacted me. And give them a few specific points. Be specific in your feedback and encouragement to other people that have blessed you. Be specific with some of that feedback, because just a lot of people I think can use that, and I think it's healthy. I think it's emotionally healthy to affirm and validate other people, with how they blessed you. And time invested into relationships is not wasted time. Time invested in relationships is never wasted time. So I just encourage you all, take some time over this holiday season to write. Man, even next level is handwrite some letters, maybe old school. How many people do that nowadays? So really, to really show your appreciation of somebody in your life that has really blessed you, man. Send them a handwritten letter. And again, time invested into relationships is never wasted time. And not just for what it does to maybe the other person or how it blesses the other person, but how it impacts you and how it cultivates your own heart as well. And, which is another reason why I love doing handwritten notes, because, it does take more time and intention to physically write out the words and the thoughts and stuff. It's very meaningful. So anyway, lessons, blessings, and relationships, really take some time, schedule it, put it in the calendar, schedule it on what lessons and relationships and blessings you have received, and then from where did those blessings come from. And then I would just encourage you guys to follow up and send thank yous and send those letters of appreciation or those emails of appreciation, because and again, think about it, how when you have received maybe some of those letters or thoughts from people, how does it make you feel? Man, for me, it feels great. It's a great feeling. Now, thankfully, I'm coming from a much healthier emotional place. So, before it would almost define me, almost be part of my identity to receive positive feedback like that. I would almost obsess over it, or conversely, if I got rejection, it would destroy me. So now, while I still appreciate, positive feedback and encouragement, it doesn't define me anymore. It's not where I get my value from, which is great, which I'm very, very thankful for. Another way that I've grown. Oh, this is huge. How have you grown? Man, I can't believe I got to maybe even do a whole separate episode on that, but how have you grown this year? Man, I really encourage you. I think I did in the last, one of the previous episodes about that question. How have you grown this year also? Do not, forget to write down or document, capture, how have you grown as a person, as a husband or wife or man or woman or leader or influencer. How have you grown as a son or daughter, man? How have you grown in 2020? I think it's really important to take the time to do that. I'm also very thankful. One of the other ways I've been blessed this year is with our content curator. Big shout out to Max. Super thankful, man. He's just if you ever need a social media, podcast content curator or video content curator, man, I have got the guy for you. He's been such a blessing, man. Big Max, I've already referred some folks to him, and he's just been tremendous to work with. Tremendous customer service, tremendous skills, super professional and personal, which I like both. I don't like just all business. I like to be able to, develop a friendship and relationship with the people that I work with. And it's just been a blessing to work with Big Max as well. So, and again, there's a ton of more people that I could have mentioned and stuff, but I just, those, again, I don't have my list of all the relationships of all the people that have blessed me. My cousins, man, I've got 3 sets of cousins that are in Colorado Springs, and they have just been a tremendous blessing as well. A tremendous blessing. So thankful for my cousins, and of course my mom, my sister has blessed me this year as well. I'm just very, very thankful for all the people that have blessed me this year, how God has blessed me. A lot of times God, if he wants to bless you, will bless you with somebody close to you, and maybe somebody not close to you as well. But anyway, you guys got hopefully some value out of this. Please share, tag a friend, share the episode with somebody that might encourage, or maybe somebody that you're thankful for. Send them this episode as a way, as a kind of a way to thank them. Hey, look, you have been one of the people, like this guy talks about in this podcast episode, that has really blessed me this year. Something like that they can maybe also have a learning experience with as well. So, and all of you, man, thank you. I'm thankful for all of you, all of our listeners from around the world. Literally, I've looked at our play demographics and just seen, man, there are literally people all around the world that have listened to this. I don't know how that works, but man, thank you all from all around the globe for listening, for your feedback, your rates, the rating that you've done, and reviews that you've provided in our podcast, different spots that you can do. And again, all the people you've shared this with, thank you. You matter. You are valuable. And your emotional health is absolutely worth taking the time to grow. And, the only way to emotional freedom is through emotional issues. So take ownership, guys. It is so worth it. Your emotional freedom, your emotional health is so worth doing what you need to do to get the healing, because you're worth it, man. You matter. You are valuable. You have gifts and talents and strengths that are meant for other people. And I just want to thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. And just really excited for 2021. It's going to be an amazing year. But man, please take the time to do the emotional work so that 2021 can be an even better year than 2020. And remember, emotionally healthy people help heal other people emotionally.